Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Presented by Carolina Lightweight. Come get with us. When the action begins in the studio, our referees for tonight's event are Elgato Azul and Carolina Real Streamers. For the viewers in attendance and Facebook and YouTube users around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Live from the Elgato Azul TV studio in Louisville, Texas, it's time! What's up, slime lovers? I'm your host, Chris, a.k.a. Elgato Azul. Partner in slime, Mr. Jamie Dunn, Carolina Lake Weights.
What's up? What's up with it?
Slime show.
Oh, man. It's going to be another fun night, brother.
Yeah, buddy. We're going to go into boat prep, trailer prep, equipment prep. It's go time, boys.
Started doing some of that on the old boat this weekend, man.
Man, I got a kind of a grainy picture of you. I don't know if that's me, you, the connection.
I know we got some weather moving in. I was just looking at over here on the YouTube side.
Jamie is hard to see and laggy.
All right, brother.
Hard to see and laggy.
Let me ease out and try to ease back in. Here we go.
All right.
All right.
I'm going to, I'll run through the list. See who's in here with us. All right. Realist Fishing says, what's up, slime family? Welcome in, bro. Tom Outdoors. What's up, Realist? Good evening, slime family. Welcome in, Tommy boy. Matthew Searley says, what's up, slime fam? Hope everyone is having a good Wednesday. Having a great Wednesday. Fishing World 123. Hey, Chris, have you ever used a double hook rig and put a smaller piece of bait on each hook? Tried that this weekend, and they were tearing that rig up. Here's Jamie. He's back. I have tried that. If I'm doing a smaller baits, I just use a single hook rig. I use my double hook rigs for big baits. The point being is if you catch one on the front hook, the back hook can injure the fish. So I just, they barrel roll a lot and they just tear themselves up, end up hooking them, extra hooks in them. So I don't do that. I'm sure they work. I know a lot of guys use them. I see a lot of people talking about the double hook rig and they got two baits on it. I use mine as a stinger hook in the tail end of a big bait.
Chris, how's
Killer B Outdoors. Welcome in, Billy boy. Moving on down. Alex, Texas Fishing. What's up, y'all? Welcome in, buddy. Cross-eyed Catfishing says, what's up, slime lovers? Joshua McPherson says, sup, guys? Welcome in, buddy. Moving on down. Aaron Grubb, welcome in, bro. Says, what's up, fellers? Brandon Zimmerman says, what's up, fellas? Brandon's been on them monsters for a while. Me and Terry and Mike just got a good one in the boat. That probably means they're about to catch a whole boatload. Jamie's gone again. I didn't even see him back out. Doty, what's up, bro? Mag Catter's in here. Yes, sir. Jamie's back. What's up, Jamie? Looks a little better, not quite as laggy.
Man, that's probably as clear as we're going to get with all this we got outside going on.
Yeah. Andrew Brewer says, what's up, guys? Big Mike, welcome in, bro. Trent Hall Says, what's up, guys? Out here doing a little dragging, watching the show.
Oh, heck yeah.
Nice. It's a nice night for it. All right, moving on down. Solo, Texas, welcome in, buddy. Mike says only way to run a double hook rig with a big ass bait. I'd agree. That's how I'd roll. Jared, JT, Toop. I'm going to get it pronounced right tonight. Tuberville. Turbville.
Turbeville.
He told me I fished with Jared this weekend on the Trinity. We had a good old time. We had them going early, and then they just completely crapped out on us. But we were able to catch some good ones. We got 4 gar.
Yeah, I was about to say
gar for the day. We got one big.
I was about to say it looked like y'all had a good time.
We had a great time. He's fun to fish with. We're going to do it again. It'll be a while before we get back on the gar, but we're going to probably hit Texoma soon. All right, moving on down. Jamie, when are you hitting the river with this nice weather? Says Fishing World 123.
Man, I'd love to be on this weekend, but we got that nor'easter that's coming up the coast this weekend, so everything was kind of canceled out. Was planning on being down there, man, but it ain't gonna happen with all that wind that they're causing and rain we're supposed to get.
David says, good evening from North Texas. Welcome in. Kurt River Trail says, good evening, gentlemen. Welcome in. Big Mike says he's going to bump from the bank this weekend.
Nice.
Fishing Express Charters says, man, brothers, I now understand what sick in the stomach feeling from losing a fish. Sucked the board and almost spooled me.
That's a bad feeling, brother.
Man, I hate to say it, but I'm used to it. I'll lose a ton of fish. That's part of it.
Brother, I tell you,
I'll see guys on social media and say, if you're losing fish, you're doing something wrong. I'm like, if you're not losing fish, you're not fishing enough.
That's it.
Because it's just part of it. I mean, you go have a day where you're really on them, you're going to lose a good amount. They're just, you whisker hook them, you skin hook them. You don't get a good buried hook on a big fish. There's all kinds of ways you can lose them. You can lose them.
You know what makes it worse though?
Roll.
When you fight them getting right up to the boat, then they come off and you're able to see how big that damn thing was. That's
the really big ones have tricks. They're just, you lose them more. And
they do.
The more you get to hooking into really big fish, the more of them you're going to lose because they got more tricks.
Yep. They're like a big buck, man. A buck that's been around in the woods. They know everything that's going on, something different in their woods, and it's harder as I don't know what to get a hold of them. But, man.
Aaron Kraft says, I want that bait so big, I'm surprised when anything under 30 eats it. I'm the same way. A lot of times when guys are on the boat, I got the bait. I'm gonna sling it out and I'll hold it out there, and everybody's like just laughing. When you look at the bait and you're just like, that's a good bait.
Yep. You'd
be surprised at what will hit a big ass bait.
Oh yeah, for sure.
A teener will take down a giant bait, but you are trying to outsize all those when you put one on. So I tell guys that big bait is there so that the little ones, when they come knock it around, they can't eat it. The bait will be there when a big one gets there. Because little ones are way more aggressive. So you need that bait in the water when you get it by that big one. Uh-oh. got past every. There we go. Punch Bait 89 says, I'm ready to see Azul put a 100-pounder out of Texoma. Me too, bro. Me too. I need to get my ass up there. Seen 2 of them caught in the last 2 weeks over 100. There's a few left in there. I guess them juggers hadn't taken them all out. Oh, man. Flathead Doty says, need some tips on targeting blue catfish on a large river like the Missouri River during a cold front and a rainy day. Jamie Dunn, got any tips?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, on a cold day and a rainy day, those bad boys could be pretty scattered. What depth of water are you trying in already?
We'll get back to Doty on that one. So Donna and Derek Barton says, evening, fellas. Welcome in. Thank you, Jamie, for our weights for the upcoming Hooked on Heroes event. Operation Vets with Nets. Real therapy.
Anytime, y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Went to Beaufort, North Carolina this weekend and saw the boat, Chris. You're going to love the 26-foot. It's 26 foot of bad, bro. Bill's getting them a panga. So anybody who's ever fished down by the coast or maybe even like Central America, they use those pangas a lot. Bill's got somebody in North Carolina that's buying him a panga.
Is that North Carolina?
Yeah, North Carolina.
Is that North Carolina or South Carolina? Because Beaufort, South Carolina, I know it's just about 3 hours from me. I haven't heard of Beaufort, North Carolina.
Well, he just went there to go look at his brand new boat they're building. So I imagine he knows he probably knows where he flew into.
I need to see where that's at. He might not be too far from me.
I'm excited for you, Bill. I'm ready to take that thing down to the coast. Nate Edwards says, hope you guys are well fishing this weekend, but I've been getting ready for them deers too. It is almost that time. I love deer season because the lake's pretty much empty. I haven't deer hunted.
I pretty much have,
Jackson.
I pretty much have given that up pretty much. Might go once or twice. That's it.
Trinity says, I've been so busy deer hunting, but this cold front has got me itching big for big fish season lately. Our water's still 82. It should be down into the 70s now, but we need our lakes to turn over. I've got a little pattern that kicks in around 72 that I've found the last 2 years for these big fish get around crappie that pile up in 72-degree water. So I'm ready. We need one really good cold snap to get things started here. And sometimes that doesn't even happen till November. So,
yeah.
Big bait, fish, says Paul Dillon Anderson. He was on them this past week. He got his little girl a 72-pounder. That was pretty awesome. Congrats.
Congratulations.
Getting them kids catching them big-ass fish. Trent says he's got some supper on the hooks. I bet you do, Trent. I like your style, bro. Current seems at the end of wing dams, according to Jerry Parker. Owen Cope says, what's up, Slimers? Welcome in, Owen. Bill says it's in North Carolina, Jamie.
Yep, by the Outer Banks. Yeah, okay.
By Moorhead.
That's about 4 hours.
Inside or outside bins for catfish. Jamie likes to answer this one. He'll tell you both.
I'll tell you both, but a lot of times that inside bin, man, is pretty good.
That's the sandbar side, correct?
That's the sandbar side, yes, sir. And on that back side, man, them fish love to hold up where that current is really slow on the back side right there.
That's how we fish for alligator gar as well. I just
It's
took what
about
I've learned from catfishing and applied it to alligator gar. Seems to
it
work
works
pretty
real.
damn good.
That's it, man. That's where a lot of that bait fish gets up in there out that heavy current a lot of the times and like to hold up.
Aaron says, you start catching them 50+ pound fish consistently, you won't want a deer hunt. I'd agree. So when we had my son, my wife's like, well, what are you going to do about hunting? And I know what she's saying. Like, no way I'm leaving week after
Yep.
week, leaving her with the kid, a little baby. So I said, well, I guess I'm just going to take my deer hunting, and I'm going to convert that into more blue cat fishing. So
That's
the
it,
last
man.
10 years, that's what I've been doing. Deer hunting here, it's not like I went all winter. I mean, we went for about a month and then kicked back in blue catting, but now it's just straight blue catting for me, starting now.
Dirty, from what I'm hearing, a lot of people's bumping on that river, man. Are you trying that also, bumping and stuff? That's what a lot of people's telling me. It's the way to go on that river now is sit there and bump.
James Edmond says, what's up, slime family? Welcome in, James. Doty says 20 to 40-foot holes around wing dikes along the current seam. Don't have a lot of experience with Missouri River, but it's dang is it a tough river to figure out.
From what I've heard from Micah, Chris, you remember that show, Micah Burkhart and all them guys, they were talking a lot
Yep.
about bumping and stuff. So
Get on that graph and freaking find them. That's all I would. That's what I do when I go somewhere. Chris, do people eat the alligator gar that big? Well, in the stretch of river I fish, they are protected. You can't keep fish that size. They have a length minimum. You can keep, if they go over, I don't know, 54 inches or something, you can't keep them. Don't quote me on that length, but the big ones are protected from the freaking bow hunters. I know if any of you guys that have follow alligator gar, you can see these dudes down in South Texas bow hunting these things out of Falcon Reservoir, out of the Rio Grande, just slaughtering giants. And those fish that they're killing that are almost 8 feet long, those are 100-year-old fish. At the very minimum, they're 70. Something that takes that long to get that big should be respected. Shouldn't just be slaughtered like that. Respect the resource. That's what I teach my son and anyone that comes on my boat, for that matter. Paul Dylan Anderson says our river is in the 70s. Bite is picking up. Yep, they start getting, they start feeding a lot more frequently and heavily. Water gets in the 70s. They're still scattered in a lake, but you can find patterns where you can start targeting. They do start grouping up. I found in a lake, they like to be around crappie when the water's 70. If you find where those crappie are, you can catch the crap out of them. Tommy says he hadn't even filled a single feeder. Lease is 2 miles from the house. Oh, man. Doty says you got to have a big enough trolling motor to slow you down out there. His friends don't have that ability. Well, you have to go old school and anchor. Doty, you're friends with Epic. Get a hold of him. He'll bend your ear.
Yeah, he definitely knows that place.
He don't bump. He can catch them.
Yeah, he likes setting up. I've noticed he loves them barges and some of that old timber and stuff that I see him set up around a lot. And he's setting up on
He
the
likes
inside of a
backflow.
lot of them. Yeah, yep.
Yeah. James Edmonds says I'm saving my quarters to get a bigger graph. I don't blame you. The older you get, the harder those graphs are to see. Might be all right for a younger man, but us old guys, eyesight goes pretty freaking rapidly. It sucks.
I can speak. Yes, it does.
My wife keeps telling me, when are you going to get some readers? I just ignore her.
Man, do like I do, Chris. Head over to Walmart's, go over there and buy you a pair of $10 pair.
Raymond
Try them
Polson
out
says,
for a
what's
while.
up, y'all? The bite is on the Missouri River. Has been fire, been slaying them. Well, there you go, Doty. I don't know if you're friendly with Raymond, but he's a good dude. He's a fish catching machine. He might could point you in the right direction. I don't know exactly what style of fishing he's doing. He'd probably do it. He can probably tell you multiple techniques that would work for you. So, all right, Jamie. So you're getting ready for fall and winter fishing. What are you going to do?
First thing, man, I just like this past weekend, brother. I went out, pulled all my life jackets out, checked everything, made sure my life jackets is in good working order. Pulled out my drift sock, looked it over, made sure all my ropes were good on it. Um, Going through my boat, man, starting to switch things over from the summertime to fall and wintertime stuff. Looking at my tackle boxes, rods, line, everything like that, man.
Man,
And
I got
my
stopped by the game warden a couple trips ago when I was catching bait. So I know all my safety gear's there because he checked it all. My throw is
your
I got
whistles,
my throw. I got my extinguishers up to date. Horn works. Got all my life jackets. Good there.
that's it, man. That's it. I'm gonna tell you, it's little stuff like that that we kind of get in a rush, kind of forget about your throw cushions and all that stuff. And the first time you think about it is when you see the man in the green breeches. That's when you go, well,
Well,
shit, man. I wonder if I
when it
check.
happened, I thought, man, I hope I can find all this crap. I hope my son hadn't pulled that throw device out of the boat. But it was
That's
all
it,
there.
man.
It
And
was
then you
all
start to go, man, where's my registration? Where's all this?
there. Yeah,
But
I had
yeah,
all that.
that's it, man. And now's the time, like I said, a lot of people normally I've already had my boat serviced. All that's good working order.
Yeah,
I'm
I
going,
need to do the trailer stuff. I need to
yeah,
bearings. I got to change out some tail lights for the trailer. I need to get a new tire. One of the tires got some damage. I don't know from what, but needs to be replaced before I get out hauling the war machine across the country. So,
and that's it, man. And I tell you, like my knees and stuff, man, I've been looking at trying to find a set of steps for the front of my trailer to make it
I'd
easier
like to
getting
have
off
that
and
as
on my
well.
boat.
I'd like to have that as well. I mean, you got to measure the height of your boat, and they just pretty much bolt on.
Yeah. Yeah, I know like mine, man, I got the spare tire up front. I got that one piece that leans over, so I'm trying to find a set that, kind of swings off to the side of the trailer a little bit and bypasses all that, and try not to spend $900 on a set, that's for sure.
I got one of those deals that where you just run your boat up onto the instead of having to hook up the hook and crank it and all that. It just you drive it right up on there and click. pull it out.
How you like that? I've been looking at those.
It's
How
pretty
you like
bad.
that?
I just put it on. They're awesome. You got to
I've been
get one.
looking. I got to get one because I've been looking at those. You said that. I'm like, damn. Well, that's what I've been looking for.
Now
Also,
you know it's probably a lot easier because it's light. You can just drive it right. You can pull yours pretty much out of your trailer out of the water and
yeah,
drive yours up on it. I got a giant bay boat, and a lot of these ramps, if I'm on a steep ramp, the front of my boat is up where it needs to be. The back of the boat's still floating around the water. If it's a shallow ramp, I can't. I got to back it way the hell down in there, and I fish both types of ramps. Like if I'm on Texoma, it's a deep water ramp, super steep.
yeah.
But if I'm like at Levant, it's all shallow water ramps like this, and having that thing where you just drive up and it locks, and then you jump out and pull it out. Much
I
better
like.
than my boat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that. I think last time I looked at priced them, they're around $320
Yeah,
somewhere in
yeah,
there with tax.
not bad at all. Not
Yeah,
bad at all.
nice man. I'm glad. I'm glad to know you've got one.
Yeah, they work good. I've heard other guys that were like, "Man, you got to get one." But that giant boat you got to get one because it's a pain in the ass. In the winter, you're dangling off the front of that thing. In the summer, it's not bad. I can jump off into the water. I got a 2,500-pound winch that I can just.
Yeah, yeah.
But in the winter, I don't want to get in the water if I'm backed way deep. And when you put it up on there, it doesn't just stay because it's a heavy ass bay boat. It wants to slide back down. So
Now, for all the different style boats, Chris, do they have a couple different styles to fit?
there are several different styles. So when you go buy it, it's like a checklist of, it says, does your eye look like this? Is the front of your boat like this? So there's different models depending on what style of boat you have.
Nice, man.
And then you can get it where you pull it when you're like out of the water. There's like a lever for pulling it when you're out of the water. There's also one for guys that like to get in the boat and then pull it and then jump on. I typically get on my tongue and pop mine and jump on and go.
Nice. Definitely got to get one of those for sure.
All right. Realist Fishing says we have the Coast Guard come out to our fishing events and do boat inspections for safety for free. Give you a sticker for your boat.
That's awesome.
That's pretty good. They don't do that here. We don't have the Coast Guard. Have the game warden. You can't get them. You can't ever get a hold of them if you need them. But when you don't need them, they'll be there.
We get checked by both, man. I've been checked by the same Coast Guard 3 weeks in a row, and they just show them that paper that they recognize you the week before, and you're good to go.
We don't get checked a whole lot. Safety checks.
Man, we do. Oh my God.
Safety checks. They check for kind of just talk to you to determine whether you've been drinking. So,
yeah,
we don't ever drink. I don't have a problem. A lot of other people on the boat, not on the boat, on the lake are drinking. So,
what about tongue steps? Yeah, that's what I'm talking
about.
Yeah, the tongue steps to go on the front. That's what I've been looking at, and I see they got several different 3 steps, 4 steps. Just trying to find the right ones to fit my style trailer and not break the bank. Man, them things can get expensive. What's up, buddy?
Get out of here. Trying to mess up my screen again.
But I want to get the ones with the 4 steps. That way I can definitely don't have to stretch on that 3rd step.
Stop. I know how to fix it.
No. You're going to exit out. Just go.
And I've heard so many people talk that, man, once you get those for your boat, you'll love them. Or for your trailer.
Close the door. You're letting mosquitoes in. All right, I'll be back. I got to deal with this kid.
But yeah, going over the safety checks, man, for your boat and your trailer, that's definitely a must. I see a lot of people, man. I've been there. I get in a hurry, forget about it, get the Santee, look over, my trailer is missing a tire, bearing, and everything. I've done it. Y'all seen the pictures and didn't even know the thing come off the trailer, man. And be like, shit, man, I should have greased these things.
I was going to PK about 15 years ago, and I look back, my was on fire, dude. Those bearings seized up. It was flaming.
And I'm gonna tell you, once you spend $1,000 on getting one fixed, when you do so much damage, it will teach you. It will make you want to grease them all the time. I promise you.
Put Mystic grease in mine that keeps them freaking going good, man. We use that in all of our equipment on my. It works. Mystic. It's red. For you guys that don't know.
Oh, I'm back.
All right, Michael Cox, welcome in, bro.
I've actually thought about changing mine out, Chris, to oil it. You know, the ones that has the oil in it. I'm actually thought about doing that. I had a trailer one time with those on it, man. Never had a problem. Never.
We don't have problems once we move to Mystic. Oh,
That's it.
but one thing is they make all the bearings in China now. Well, not all of them, but if you get most of the bearings, they don't last like they used to.
Yeah, that's for sure, man. Nothing does anymore.
All right, moving on down. I got my screen screwed up.
Richard,
Gordon's
what's up?
heavy in San Antonio. Big Tex says, "How are y'all? We're good." Tony Ramsey, y'all coming to Bama Blues? Jamie, you ready to do some travel fishing?
I tell you, man, I've been wanting to go, brother. I've been wanting to go. I've had some people ask me about that one.
Tommy Ruffin says, "What's up, fellas? Welcome in, Tommy."
How often do y'all grease bearings? I can tell you, I'm doing mine about every 3 trips now.
Damn, that's overboard, dude.
Well, I tell you, man, there's a spring in mine. If you pay attention to that spring, you might have to just hit it real quick. Once it's out, it goes back and forth. A lot of times it's not like the first, hold it to it. It might just be a quick hit. It's just me being a little overprotected because of what's happened.
I grease mine once, maybe twice a year.
Oh, wow. Shit.
I use good grease.
Man.
Use Red Mystic. You won't have any problems.
Red Mystic?
Yeah.
I might have to try that one.
It's expensive, but it's worth it. Learned that trick a long time ago in business. We have to grease a lot of bearings in landscape maintenance business.
Yep.
And equipment's expensive when it's not just breaking down, but when guys aren't able to work.
Yep. Well, if that stuff is working
that shit
like
on
that,
everything. Yeah,
I'll pay the extra to get it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Tommy Rupp says every 6 months. Depends on how far you drive. I do mine every 6 months.
That's about what I do mine, Tommy. And I've had this current boat I've had for 10 years. Never done a bearing job. Bearings are tight.
Wow.
I use Red Mystic.
Yeah, I'm probably doing it over too much then.
All right. Moving on down. I travel fish every weekend. I drive between an hour to hour and a half every weekend, each way
Nice.
to fish.
Trent says, we're supposed to grease our bearings. What the hell?
Yeah, Trent's probably got bearings that have that oil well in them.
That's it. Joseph said, Jamie, a couple more weeks, things will be getting real on Santee, hopefully. I tell you, man, I heard right now it's slowed back up a little bit, but I've still got some friends down there they've caught some nice fish last few weeks. But you're right, it's coming. Santee's getting ready to wake up for sure.
Tommy says Bama Blues ain't out the question. All right, I got behind. Tommy says I better grease mine soon. Well, you just drive. I mean, your lake's just a local lake. Shit, you would if you're just going to the local lake. It's not like getting on the road and driving for a couple hours. Josh says every 6 months. Richard Green, he's got his feeders full, Jamie. 6 to 8 does every day.
Man.
Bucks hadn't got the memo.
They will soon. They will. The Bucks will be going crazy soon.
Fishing World 123 says, what's the best way to suspend baits on a log jam, Jamie?
Tell you, brother, I normally like suspend them straight down, like we talked about last weekend. I got 3 different ways I do on a log jam. I'm either in front of the log jam, or I'm on top of the log jam, suspending straight down, or I'm actually fishing tight to the back side of it. I've caught fish all 3 ways, man. It all depends, like we were saying last week, when you sitting there going and you're scanning that log jam, where those fish are. Are they just in front of it? Are they tight in the center of it, or right behind it? That's the biggest thing, man, is to scan it good and see where those fish are holding, and then make your decision from there. But I've caught fish all 3 ways.
That's what I caught Sunday.
I tell you what, man, that's a beautiful fish. Dog.
Yeah, that was cool. It's fun to
it had to be that lucky shirt.
Yeah.
I tell you, man, I love the part where I saw if that's the same fish where it come out the water that you were showing where. Oh my goodness! I said, "Damn, what that makes your heart stop."
It's in the video. It's like fish blows up on the surface or whatever, and some guy said, "I'm still waiting for the fish to blow up." Well, it looked like a freaking grenade went off. The splash went like 20 yards. It was.
Yeah.
It's crazy how it exploded. But that just right there shows you what social media, for some people, social media. Still waiting for the explosion. I'm like, dude, it looked like a freaking stick of dynamite went off on the surface. What are you talking about?
Well, I tell you what, I don't know what most people, man, when I saw it, I wasn't even the one to catch it. I was like, what the hell?
When you see what we whoa!
Yeah.
When it happens, it's pretty freaking awesome, Some people just don't want to be happy for you. They just like to try to. And, I went over to the guy's page. He don't even freaking catch fish. It's always one of those guys. You go look at his page, and it's like the picture is his main picture is like a rod. And then you go look, because I looked down, I'm like, I just got to see what this hater is about. And I went and looked at, I couldn't even find a fish pick. Just a hater. Like, come talk to me when you're actually doing something, bud.
That's it. 1, 2, 3. If I'm pulled up on that log jam and I see these fish are holding up or down towards the bottom, a lot of times I will pull it up a feet or so, and I might have some on the bottom. So if I've got, like, say, 4 rods suspended, I might have them at a couple at different depth. and once I see what they're hitting, then I'll adjust my rods from there.
Wheeler says, "Hey y'all, welcome in, Wheeler."
What's up, buddy?
Tommy Ruffin says, "JT says told him he needs to get on the stick for deer hunting."
I saw JT and them boys, man. That was a nice flathead they caught here a couple weeks ago. That was a nice flathead.
Yeah, it was. All right, you already got the "do you let the bait drop down" question, huh, Jamie?
Yeah. You know, Chris, I didn't realize.
That's what I run, the JT6 high temp grease. Stays put, doesn't run out when it gets hot.
I'm definitely going to get me some of that.
That's a lot of problem with the grease. You get out on the highway, start running that sucker hot.
Yep.
And it just drips. It's gone.
That's it.
It's a game changer if you're running a lot of equipment that's and there's money on the line. Late to the party. What's up, Slime Family? Says Chase. Welcome in, buddy. Zimmerman says, "I'm back. We got me. Terry Woodrow and Mikey D. Hull got 4 fish in the boat so far."
Heck yeah, brother.
What else is new?
I tell you, man, them boys have been catching fish, it seems like, all week.
Man, they're on fire. They've been on them for a long time, man.
They have.
I look up, they got a new post up with a bunch of big ass fish.
Yeah, congratulations.
Flatheads. Tommy Ruffin said that flathead made my whole tournament worth it. We had a tournament here in Texas where the dude had weighed in 2 fish that were on the brink of death, and they died. Couldn't revive them. Big 72-pound flathead. Another good fish.
Chris, you know what I mean. While we're on that subject, do you realize? And I'm not afraid to say it. I've turned fish back because of that situation where I did not want the fish to die in a tournament. It might have cost me the tournament, but you know, it's worth it. I'd rather lose a tournament, take care of that big fish, than see that big fish die at the end of that tournament. That's me. A lot of people say, "Man, you full of crap." Away. No, I just the last tournament I did a couple months ago, I did that around 2 a.m. in the morning because I didn't like the way that fish were looking, and released it, and that fish would have won me that tournament. But you know, I'd rather take care of those big fish.
Well, you know, Texas used to have one of the best blue cat lakes in the country, Lake Chawaukene, and they had a bunch of tournaments that come through, and it was. I'm not going to blame it just on the tournament, but the tournament caught thousands of pounds of catfish, 2-3 years in a row. At the time, it was the king cats. I think 2 years in a row, it was the heaviest bag 2 years in a row of any tournament ever.
Yeah.
Bunch of giants caught. And the lake never recovered. Now, the lake's been done dirty from social media as well. So a lot of guys come in that are meat haulers. When they see stuff on social media, they come in and clean them out. But I think that, you know, like what Tommy does, is they'll allow their anglers to come in and weigh early, you know. And
Yeah.
I might be wrong, but I think they can go back out and continue to fish.
You know, I love that idea, especially comes early, you know, spring and summertime, especially summertime, man. Around that August, September, that's got to be.
Those fish are struggling.
Yeah,
Man, they're struggling just taking a picture and getting them back in the water immediately.
Yep.
Like, that heat's hard on 'em.
It is, man.
Put them into a live well after you've stressed them just from the fish catch, and pulling them out of water for 2 or 3 minutes, and then you see how they act once you get them back in the water. You're like, damn, that fish is not doing well. You got to really baby that thing and get it to revive. But not everybody's live wells boosted with oxygen, and
that, Chris. I've quit fishing a lot of tournaments because tournaments allowing people to put the fish on stringers that don't have live wells and stuff like that. I can't fish those, man.
Even the ones that really check guys' live wells, like, the king cat that was on Texoma, my guide buddies that fished out of the marina where they released the fish said, man, the next day make you think twice about what they're doing out there, because there was big fish dead everywhere, and they were pretty healthy going back into the water. So,
wow.
And a lot of guys will tell you, oh, those fish, they die. A lot of them die anyway. Like, even when a regular angler catches. Now, I don't really believe that. I don't see a bunch of dead blue cats laying around. And I mean, I know I catch some of the same fish the next week. Yeah. I do feel like the more you handle them, the more slime coat you knock off. So they might not die right when you put them back. Could be a little later, but I don't know what the remedy is. I mean, they're fun to catch.
That's it.
Try to take care of them.
I've put a lot of money in the live well systems, oxygen, extreme bait tanks, and, different things, just trying to make sure use all the precautions I can. But, sometimes you just got to know when to say, okay, enough is enough. Hot summer, nights, the water is bubbling, it's hot. Just can't throw tournaments, man, that time of year.
Record Jackson caught, it took us probably 40 minutes to revive. Once we got it back and weighed it at the dock and all that, once we put it back in the water, that sucker didn't want to go down. I'm like, damn, all this, and we're going to kill. I've been doing this my whole life, never killed one like this. And now we got the record, and we're going to kill this one. This is ridiculous. We stayed with it, swam it around for a while, and eventually it went back down.
That's awesome, man. A lot of people don't take that time. Just they think once they turn them back loose, they swim off a little bit and go to the side. I mean, a lot of times, man, that's where they lay up and die.
It would have died if we wouldn't have kept flushing him with water,
Tom, I'm like you, brother. Any water temperature that's that high, I'm the same way, man.
They quit doing them here in Texas. I don't know that there is a hot water tournament anymore. They used to have them, but even then, I mean, our fish are really difficult to catch in the daytime.
Yeah.
When it's that hot. It's not like the river system or.
Richard Green said, can we get long sleeve shirts advertising Mad Cats and Carolina Lake weights? Well, brother, I mean,
soon.
You never know what's coming, man.
Jamie's got something in the works. It's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, we got something in the works, guys. I'm hoping that we can launch it Friday. But we'll see. But we got something cool, guys. We'll let y'all know for sure. Definitely.
Gonna be able to do some cool things with shirts, jerseys,
even shorts. You're gonna be able to do a lot of cool things. It's something that ourselves and somebody is working together. It's gonna be pretty cool. Just take your money now. What's so cool? Well, I'm just gonna say, guys, we'll put it out a post probably Friday or something, letting everybody know what's up. So y'all stick around. Y'all can be able to do whatever you want, how you want it. So
No, I like custom. I gotta have custom crap.
that's it.
You know,
That's it, man. And y'all can be wearing the same
I
thing that.
got slime show jerseys and with all my sponsors and all that on the way.
Yep.
Just because I think they're cool.
That's it. That's
Gonna
it, man.
say slime show. I got one for Jackson. Says Action Jackson, Texas Tornadoes. Got all his sponsors are different than mine because some of my sponsors just sponsor me. They don't sponsor him, which seems kind of weird. But
I tell you what,
I almost got to a point where I'm like, well, if it's not for my son, then I ain't even gonna freaking do it because I don't really, what's the point? I'm really my fishing is about him. So
guys, you'll be able to do it however you want. We're gonna have a lot of cool things on there already, but you can also add your cool stuff on there. But you'll be able to make them however you want.
it can be a lot of
So
different designs, right? Different patterns and pretty much custom all the way.
yeah,
It's not
you'll be
just
able
like
to
basic. I mean, you can
you'll be able to do
as
whatever
a
you
whole.
want. Yep. If you know there's a design you want, you'll be able to take that design, bring it over to what we're doing, and custom design it however you want. Or you can take our logos that's already on there, or some ideas that we're going to have on there and do whatever you want. So it's going to be cool. It's going to be real cool. But just can't let too much out the bag right this second until we get everything. So we're hoping by Friday, guys.
That's pretty awesome, and it's good
So,
priced.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It really is. And like I said, you'll be able to do hoodies, long sleeves, short sleeves, swimming trunks.
Beanies, neck
Uh,
gaiters.
there's going to be all kinds of cool stuff on there. Really is. And we're going to be constantly adding new stuff to it, but you can also bring your stuff to it too. Sleeveless, yeah, man. Just take your pair of scissors, cut it off right. But what you see us wearing, you'll be able to do it however you want. Make the same thing that we have, whatever. So we're working real close. I'll tell you guys, we're working close with Catfish Clothing. It's gonna be something cool that we're doing. So it's
It's
gonna be
going to be
cool.
cool that you can be the one that designs it. That's
That
one of the things when I do my jerseys, I don't like to have to tell somebody else this is my idea because it
mhm.
never comes back. It's never had. I've designed these team jerseys for 4 years. It's never freaking come back how I want, and then it's a back and forth to get it how I like it and it damn near takes 6 months.
That's it. So
I can't
now
understand it, man. It's such a freaking beating to
that's it.
deal
So
with somebody who
you won't have to worry about that no more. You design it how you want it.
you change the font, you change the colors, you
That's right.
change the way the lettering is. It's shadowed, outlined.
You can 15 different layers. You'll be able to put 15 different layers on one. Whatever you want. You can bring your ideas over and go to it's gonna be cool, guys. I promise you.
Richard says, I would make my own, but I don't want to get into the political issue. Most importantly, lawsuits. I don't know. I don't understand that, but I get it.
I can tell you guys, if it's on that, you're good. If
Typically,
you got
if you want to make your own, you can ask. I've never known any of these companies that wouldn't allow you to use their logo to basically promote them.
I can't speak
Promotion.
I can say for Carolina Lake Weights, whatever's on there y'all want to use it. we love y'all guys wanting to use our stuff. I can't speak for Mad Cats. That's something I can't
You're
speak for.
making Mad Cat stuff and trying to sell them. Yeah, they're not going to want you to do that. But if you're use it's for personal use and you're going to be fishing in them and promoting, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
you're
none of my sponsors have cared.
yeah.
I've
Yeah.
asked them all, and a lot of guys don't even ask. They just put it on there because it's free promotion. As long as you're
Yeah.
not making money off of like selling them. I mean, that's going to be your infringement if you're making money off of it.
But if
Selling
if
Mad
we,
Cat hats that's not a licensed Mad Cat hat, yeah, it's gonna be a problem for you. But
I'm
Tommy waiting for the CLW decal for the truck window.
brother, we got all kinds of what size are you looking for? We got if it's a certain size, Tom, let me know. We could probably do it for you, brother. Just let me know what size.
Y'all can make them up to what size? Y'all gave me some 12 or 15-inch ones.
Yep.
I
Yep.
had them special made.
So yeah, you let me know what size, brother. We can make it happen. Okay, the 8 by yeah. Okay.
All my sponsors sent me decals, and I asked, "Can I get decals?" Because I want to represent. I mean, we sit there next to that boat and take a lot of pictures throughout the year after our trips. I'm going to give you the opportunity to get a bunch of free freaking promotion of us holding up big fish. And none of them have ever said no. I mean,
Chris, that's just like these new decals here. We've been giving out every order that comes through in the month of October. We've been giving a free decal with every order that she released these, and these are cool decals. So,
yes.
she, my Rebecca does all kinds of cool stuff, and like I said, guys, we love doing this, and we're gonna probably continue doing a lot of stuff like that.
Kelby Saki, welcome in, bro. He's been in Alabama. I think he's came back and actually caught big fish. Isn't that how it usually works? You go spend all this freaking effort trying to catch a giant fish and then come home, catch one bigger than you got when you're in Giantville. Rich Segura says, "What's up, Slime Brothers? Operation Bets with Nets, baby."
Hey, I talked with Rich today, man. Told him congratulations on that boat, man. Wow, that
Man, he got
G3.
a carbon copy of two of my other good buddies' boats. That's an awesome boat to fish out of.
Yes, sir. It
Got
looks.
a G3 Sportsman.
I've actually looked at one of those boats. Those are very nice boats. I was going to go with that boat before I went with that Sea Arc of mine.
Gonna get a new gel coat done, says Tommy. No need to gel coat that old boat. Just slap them decals on. You're gonna scrape them off anyway. You're gonna have that thing scarred up if you're like me. The War Machine is covered in battle scars. Get a new gel coat. That's an expensive process. It's not gonna get your money worth out of it. Just freaking go with what you got, bro. Spend that money on a graph. Michael Cox says, "No sponsors. If I like a product, I put the sticker on my truck or on my boat." That's the way I always did it too. That's how I got my damn sponsors. I was repping what I liked, telling my people what I liked. Never expecting to get anything out of it. Just was basically handed to me for, as a reward for being a good rep, for repping good. So,
Alex, been missing the Carolina Lake Weights lives on TikTok. Yeah, man. We've actually taken a big break. We've had life has been very busy. And I tell you, man, we've really been super busy. And sooner or later, you have to take the time off and spend family time together after being so busy. And that's what we're kind of doing. We're taking care of the business and kind of backed off on a lot of stuff and trying to make more family time right now. But who knows, man? We'll be back.
All right. Rich is getting the new boat wrapped and then sponsor decals. Wheeler says bumper boats is how we roll. That's right, man. If you ain't rubbing, you ain't racing.
That's right.
Oh, man. Cox says 100%. Gelby says Alabama was terrible, but we did catch fish. Oh, did catch fish, but not the right fish. Awesome trip. I will be returning.
Nice.
Fishing World 123 says I ripped my transducer off my boat from a stump hitting that river this weekend, Upper Santee. Got
Brother,
natty for contours, but what should I be looking for and targeting at night, Jamie?
be careful up there, man, because I'm gonna tell you, you'll probably rip a lot. You'll probably rip a lower unit off up on that end for sure.
Dude, hit that freaking Amazon and get you a new transducer. They'll have it here in an hour.
Yeah. I tell you, man, right now, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I am basically now switching over to daytime fishing. Going pretty much daytime fishing now. But nighttime, man, just treat it like you do during the day. Uh, you could actually get a good chance at hitting some flatheads up on that end right now at nighttime. But treat it just like you do during the day, man. Just be careful up on that north end, brother.
Rich says, Jamie, the decal was for the boat, not the workshop. LOL. Rich sent me some decals, and he put them in one of those freaking plastic, like he mailed it in an envelope, like that. Like, what do you? I'm sorry, but I couldn't put it on the boat. It was so creased. I had to have Jamie make me some. So Jamie made me some. He's like, "What size you need?" I'm like, give me some 12 inchers. Oh, Rich. I'm like, Jamie, I got some in the shop.
Yeah, right.
So creased. I tried to put them on the boat. It was just like,
Oh man. Yeah, Rich must see the ones back there.
those
Yeah, we got him on the boat too.
Oh man, buy a Pacific Northwest jet boat. Problem solved. Yep, I'd agree. I want one like that, either that or a Hughes Craft. That'll be my next boat. Something that I can sleep on and can handle big water and has a lot of big open deck space in the back and a full enclosure. Right here, baby.
It'll take some of that, I can promise you.
Yeah, those are crazy. One I like is crazy expensive.
What are they, Chris? A little over 100?
150.
That's almost buying a new house, ain't it?
That was what I paid for my first house. Crazy. But the one that I get next will be my last boat. So
you know, I said about that one I've got, that would be my last one, Chris. But I tell you, man, I'm getting that itch again. I'm actually
you've had yours for what, 6 years?
About 6-7 years, yeah. The good thing about it, it's almost paid for, man, and I got that boat for a hell of a price. So I mean,
yeah, it's hard to get. I mean, that's a nice boat.
Yeah,
you're good to go for a long time, bro. Wheeler says, "Yep, big money."
how long should I give each spot on anchor? Man, that depends, brother. I've always been one of those types saying, man, the first 10 to 15 minutes um is what I'm looking for. Then I've seen some, brother, where I have sit in the spot knowing I'm on top of a big fish, just the right time. I've sit on it for an hour trying to catch a fish. But mostly no more than 30 minutes. No more than 30 minutes.
So Danimal says the center console isn't as convenient as people might think. After multiple trips on your boat, it's drawback to me. Here's the difference, Danimal. About 20% of the trips of the year, if you don't have a boat like I got, you will not be on the lake. All these catfish specific boats have to leave. I've got a ton of buddies that got them. You cannot fish out in open water on the lakes that I fish unless you've got something that can handle big rollers. So that's why I thought, well, that Hughes craft, a 24-foot Hughes craft, could probably handle 4-foot rollers and big wind. Whereas like Jamie's boat, badass boat, but he ain't going to be out in 4-foot rollers. I guarantee you. He ain't going to be out there. Neither are any of my buddies that have one of those boats. They have to go find cover. And also the trip back, I'm freaking hammered down. I go straight back. And Jamie, when you get in over 3-foot rollers, what kind of trip is it? A 12-mile trip back to the dock.
You'll be lucky to have teeth in your head.
There's when you call it a drawback, I call it, there's a reason why I got the boat. It's for safety because I fish big water. And I'm not going to be one of those guys that have to be sitting on the sideline when I want to be out there in it. So there is a drawback because there's not side room, but I'm out there. So the drawback with the other one is you're not able to be out there.
I almost sunk my boat in Santee a couple of years ago.
Perfect boat.
Yeah.
But I will say that Hughes craft seems to be about as close to one because they're heavy for an aluminum boat. They're super heavy. And you need that if you're going to be in big water. So
I promise you, when you almost sink a boat, it will take you, and you will definitely know your limitations. I can promise you. And that's why y'all saw me. I showed y'all. I put those clear fins on the back of my boat to when the breakers come and hits the back of the boat, where the water don't go in the back.
Yeah,
and it's helped out some, but I'm gonna still tell you, 4-foot rollers, I'm out. I'm going.
Pretty much just got to go slow to get, because if you try to cut across a 4-foot roller, you're going to go over one and into the next one. You're going to have water coming over the bow.
A lot of time you want to hold that boat, the front of it kind of up like this. That's it. That's it.
Be like that the whole trip back, which if you're 10 miles from the dock, that's going to take you an hour and a half to get back.
That's it. That's it.
My 15 minutes.
And I'm going to tell you, you're going to feel like you just been through war by the time you get back with that boat. How did I almost sink my boat? Brother, just sitting there dragging some Carolina lake weights. The rollers were coming through the back of the boat. And if y'all know the Sea Art boats, they sit kind of low, even though they got the pods. And where the motor is, it's kind of low. The water was steady coming into the back, and I got 2 pumps back there steady pumping water, and it still wasn't enough. So
I will say there's no real perfect boat for all situations.
Yeah,
there's some that work better than others. You can make most of them work, but safety becomes a big concern in big water lakes like Texoma. It's oceanic. Not only is it just when it's wet, the weather's bad, but the size of the boats, the waves that they put out, you might have a boat put out a 6-foot wake.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
That will completely swamp some boats. So it don't have to be 30 mile an hour. Tommy, you go fish Texoma in 15-mile-an-hour wind in your boat, buddy, and I guarantee you're going to be thinking, the hell am I doing out here? Even in your boat, buddy, I promise you, it's a crazy. I don't know why it's so much different. In my home, like any of the other lakes I fish, 15-mile-an-hour water is nothing for my boat. When I go to Texoma, it's completely different ball game. And you get out, it gets much higher than that. It's time to get going, go home.
That's it. How did I get through it? I tell you how I got through it, brother. Lots of prayers, but what I did, quick thinking, is I still had 10 poles out. We were still dragging, planer boards, everything. When the back of the boat went to go down, I was hammered down just in time. If I'd have been 10 more seconds, we'd have lost it. But when I hammered down, I was able to just ride, all the lines spooling off, let the pumps catch up, get the water out the back, and then was able to get to an area, shallow area, and stopped on it to allow the pumps to completely get the water out. And then thank the good man upstairs for being there. Even though I spooled 10 different rods, lost 4 sets of planer boards, none of that mattered.
Alex, Texas Fishing says, what would be a good boat to start out on? I would say if you're just starting out, probably a Tracker V.
Yeah.
Because they can they're safe. They got for like a 17-foot boat, has a ton of room in the back for that size boat. And they're safe, Now, I had one of my buddies that had the big Tracker, and he's like, I'm going to come out to Texoma. I'm like, well, it's supposed to be like 18-mile-an-hour wind. I don't recommend it. He's like, oh, that's nothing. I'm used to up to 20, no problem. I'm like, not on Texoma. But he went out there, and he got about halfway through the run, and he's like, man, I'm turning around. This is insane. I gotta go. I gotta get back. This is making me nervous. So, but I would say that Tracker's probably the best for starting out. They're not cheap, but they're not super expensive either. They'll do everything you need it to do. They're safe. They got a lot of room. They're well equipped. They're easy to rig up. Yeah, waves and wind on Levant are nothing. That's a tiny lake. Now, Tawakanee can get big. Louisville can get probably a little bigger than both of those. Depending on which end of the lake you're fishing, But any of those lakes that got a 30-mile stretch of open water, if you're on the one side of the stretch, but for whatever reason, Texoma, even when you're on the short side, it's crazy big. Texoma, there's something to. Now, up in Oklahoma, they get that kind of wind too, but Texoma has some insane weather. It's just very dangerous, treacherous lake.
And sometimes, man, just knowing if you got some fronts coming through, you got some thunderstorms, I'm constantly watching my phone, more safety tips, man. Pay attention, especially in the summertime. Look at that phone.
Here's the deal. You got to know the limits of your boat.
That's it.
Typically, the way you find those limits is by doing dumb shit. Like, you get out there and you realize, man, I messed up. This is too much.
That's it.
I know that when I get in 5 to 6 foot rollers, it's scary in my boat because they'll come over the bow.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. one over the bow is fine. You start getting two, maybe even you get a third one come over. It's like you're done.
That's it. And I'll tell you, even that was a tournament I was fishing. Don't let a tournament push you to those limits. I'm telling you.
That's true. All right. I either froze or Jamie froze. Who was it? Got you, Jamie. You got me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you were froze. Was I froze or you?
And it's probably me, man. I can hear
All right,
the
Jamie,
weather outside.
Jamie.
Yeah, that was probably me.
It really depends on what fishery you're fishing to say what kind of boat.
Yeah.
I fished like Texoma, and back then I was fishing Tawakoni a lot, and I thought, well, I don't want to sit on the sideline in big wind because that's great fishing, and we get a lot of wind in Texas. So if you're not capable of being out in it, you're going to have to water. And I didn't want to be that guy. I wanted to be able to get out in it. So I got an ocean boat. I'm safe out in it. It's got to be really hairy for me to say, it's not worth it. No.
See, like me, supposed to go down this weekend, go down to Santee to fish the tournament and stuff. Not with a nor'easter off the coast, because I'm going to tell you, that place down there can get wicked.
Jamie will tell you you definitely need a splash guard. Get you a splash guard. If you're going to be fishing those big water lakes like are up there, you better get you one. Go ahead and get prepared.
I tell you guys, the company in Minnesota done mine. I've loved them to death. They've been worth every penny. I highly recommend them. And the name of them are actually called Wave Whackers.
Yeah, those were at CatCon, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. They're badass. I'm telling you guys, put them on your boat. Mine don't come off. I can't remember what I paid. They will. They will, especially on the Sea Arcs, man. I'm telling you. And you'll see a lot of guys with the Sea Arcs. They'll have them on those boats. But they can make them custom to whatever boat you got.
Realist Fishing says, love my bay boat. Bay boats are nice to fish out of. They're even nicer getting to and from your fishing spot because you can hammer down in big water. My buddies are like, man, I'd be creeping just creeping through this, and you're freaking going 42. Hammer down, it.
That's it.
Mine's not a big fast boat, but it'll get there as fast as I need it. How many rods do you typically use on the river, Jamie?
If I'm in a tournament, normally most tournaments allow you to use 8 or 10. If I'm not in the tournament, 15 or so rods. I'll have them SmackDown rod holders, man. I can put 15 rods out with no problem.
I got rods all over my boat, or rod holders all over my boat too. I think I got 24 or something crazy.
I tell you, man, when you do hook into a big fish with 15 rods out, man, it can be a load of fun and hated afterwards. I can promise you. But once you get to, once you get to a certain point, though, you can pretty well get that fish where you got to get him to.
Tommy says getting there at a slower speed is better than not making it from going too fast.
You're right, brother.
I would agree, but here's the deal. When you can't get there at a fast speed and you got to cut across open water in the middle of winter, you will not cut across the open water. You're going to be like, nah, I don't want to drive 10 miles going puttering, 10 miles. I don't know anyone that wants to do that. So you'll end up just saying, oh, I'm just going to go fish this protected area over here, even though There might not be any fish there. It's the only place you can fish.
That's it.
I just don't want to be. I don't want to be that. So
you don't want to have your hands tied.
The only reason I got one. I mean, I could have got a different boat, but that's the reason I got mine.
Yeah.
Because I fish Texoma a lot, and it requires a Carolina flare and a high side bay boat. Heavy bay boat can cut through waves.
That's it.
It's good for me. Now, my guys that fish Central Texas lakes, a lot of them got Sportsmen and Sea Arcs. And for those smaller lakes, that's a better boat. But don't bring that to Texoma in January when the north front's hitting.
And Chris, we talked about this a while back. Knowing what you're going to fish, buying the right boat for what fishery you're going to fish mostly. Like me, I knew I was going to fish river.
Yeah, you got a perfect boat for that.
I got the perfect boat for it. But knowing I can go fish Santee also, but just not probably on the rough days, the smart thing to do and go out to the open water. Now, I can go to some of the back creeks, some of the other enclosed spaces, but my hands tied to where I can fish on those days. So, but knowing, I'm going to be on the river probably 80% of the time, I got the boat for me. And that's what a lot of people, like you said, man, you knew you were going to be fishing some big water, so you got the boat that's going to work best where your hands wasn't tied. And I tell you, I saw about the Tri-Tunes a while ago. The Tri-Tunes is a wonderful boat for all the way around fishing. They really are.
Once you get there, you don't want to go 12 miles up across open water in the winter in one. They are a wet ride.
They are. And I've had one, and I tell you, they are fun to have, but man,
there's a lot of days in the winter where I'm the only boat on the lake. The only boat. I am the only freaking boat. The only freaking guy that's out there. And I'm like, this ain't that bad. But my buddies that are like, man, there is no way I'd be out here in my boat. So I feel pretty good about my decision on that, because some of those are my best days.
That's it.
They can be really good.
And when you look around and you're the only boat out there, you kind of got that smile on your face, and you kind of got like, oh yeah, I got this today.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's a good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great feeling. I got to admit, I feel pretty good about that when I'm the only guy out there. All right. Anything else, Jamie?
Nope. Guys, just stay tuned for that announcement to when we're going to be maybe Friday. We're going to try to launch something. So stay tuned for that announcement, guys. And like I said, every order that comes through between now and Halloween, guys, you're going to be receiving the free decals like this one right here coming in to you. And like I said, if you haven't checked out the new weights, guys, check them out. They have been flying out the shop. We appreciate everybody on those. And a lot of cool things happening.
We used the 3-ounce this weekend for alligator gar. They work good.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. I mean, not only for catfishing, man, like you said, alligator gar, all kinds of stuff.
Some stumpy areas with a lot of timber in the water.
Yep. We also got a lot of guys fishing with our stuff, out in the ocean now. So we're going to be trying to even come up with some, well, y'all just stick around. I'm not going to say, because somebody will be watching and want to do something out there.
I tied up a bunch of rigs tonight. I still got to I got to put a new tire on the trailer. I need to grease the bearings. I need to restring my poles, but it's go time. It's go time. We're going to freaking finally go really start putting in the work on these bigger fish, bigger blue cats. So
That's it. Now, hey,
It may take me a trip to really figure them out and get on track, but I'm going to go do a lot of scouting this next trip. I'm going to spend the time trying to figure out what the fish and bait, different patterns are doing before I fish.
Yeah.
I want to get a good understanding of what's going on. So,
Tom, let me know, man. I'm hearing a lot of great things, and I know you had got some. Let me know what you think of them, man, because like I said, we're hearing a lot of great things about those new short ones that we released. A lot of people are loving them on Anchor. All kinds of different from the banks, man. They're loving those weights. They really are. So
I got a new set of Mad Cat's rods. I can't show them off, though, or else I'll be in trouble.
oh man, I know that's that's hard not to do, man.
Oh man, I got in trouble. I posted them. I think last night. Like, got some heated phone calls coming my way. Oh man, I didn't know. Sorry. Anytime somebody sends me stuff, I want to. First thing I do is take a picture of the package and then take a picture of the product and show it off, It's just
that's it. That's it.
But I wasn't supposed to show those new rods off. The new Legacy edition.
Oh man. Well, also, Chris, before we
beautiful.
They are. Well, I don't know, but from what you say, they are. But
they are.
Also want to give a big shout out to our sponsors, guys. SmackDown Rod Holders, man. Appreciate everything them guys do for us over there at SmackDown.
SmackDown on them with my SmackDowns.
That's it. Park Splinger boards, guys. If you don't have them, get you a set of Park Splinger boards. I promise you. Tell them the Slime Show sent you. You will love them.
Reach out and hook one.
That's it. That's it. Catfish Clothing, guys. Check them guys out over at Catfish Clothing. And don't forget also, if you haven't checked out
Custom Knives.
That's it.
I got some more of these on the way. These are our Slime Show bait knives. So, badass knife. Jimmy Floyd, appreciate you, bro.
I'm going to be getting with him this week and get me some of those coming for the boat myself.
Amarillo Knife Works.
Love all of our sponsors.
Hope y'all get on them, Jamie. Hope all you guys get on them.
That's it, guys. And don't forget to send them pictures in, man, so everybody can see,
man,
show them off.
Get those kids on the water. Post them over in the Carolina Lake Weights Facebook page, the Facebook group, Carolina Lake Weights Facebook group, and we'll get these kids entered for Kid of the Week. We hadn't had any freaking entries last week. We didn't even have any entries. I couldn't even give one away. I could have given it away to my son, but I generally save his for when he catches a really giant fish. So.
That's it. That's it. Appreciate y'all guys for tuning in for sure and always supporting us and everything too, guys. And like I said, man, appreciate all the love out there.
Yes, sir. We're going to keep doing it. We'll get it. I'm not sure what we're going to do next week. We're probably going to we need to get some guests booked. So any of you guys got any ideas on guests, holler at me. Let me know who you'd like to see. We'll see if we can get them. Everybody has said yes, besides a couple of guys that are scared to go on camera. But I'm going to
it's just like
a couple of whiskeys.
That's it. Just a couple of guys like around the bonfire, man, sit here talking, man.
That's right. Well, tight lines. God bless. Zool out.
Later, everybody.